What are some of the risk factors for intimate partner abuse in gay relationships?
We were very unequal. He had money and I didn't. And so there was a certain amount of control just about, being able to spending his money. I was quite young at the time and he was more than twice my age. And I wouldn't go to my family neither. Like, it's not homophobia, it's just distance and how family sometimes is. I think I'd have friends, like old friends I could rely on, that I could go to if I needed shelter or protection. I could, but not family.
There is some very vulnerable men who are isolated and maybe get into a relationship where actually it's an abusive relationship from the get-go. But because of their isolation and because of their fear of coming out, they get themselves deeper and deeper into this relationship. We've a few of our men that attend that maybe would have been from very rural communities, therefore very isolated, that we've tried to link them in with the Gay Project to get a little bit of peer support and, just to have a community rather than being so isolated.
I know this comes from a very long road because of my family and the rejection from them. Because of that, I believe that I never thought myself worthy to be loved. My family is very religious and they don't accept me as a gay. And that's one of the reasons why I came to Ireland. And I couldn't speak English. And I said, I'm just going to pack up all my stuff because with no English. And I said, this is a new beginning for everything. And that's why I came. It's been 5 years in Ireland now. They still don't accept me. They still fight about it. They believe that I'm gonna go to hell. All of this reaction made me kind of strip there to accept whatever would come. I was just vulnerable to receive anything because when you don't know your worth, anyone who offers you kind of affection just makes you think, wow, somebody loves me, because I never had that. So I met this guy and we moved in together and he started treating me like I was inferior straight away, because my salary back then was low and he was earning 4 times more, so he was financially more stable than me. So then every time we went to the supermarket, he was like, no, I will pay because I will be the one who's going to provide for you as long as we are happy, as long as everything is going well. And I started to feel like I was being, I don't know, and I'm sorry for this, but like I was being treated like a woman, like these sexist relationships when the man is the alpha and the woman just needs to obey. I felt like that. But I was so focused on proving my family wrong that I was just leaving all of that aside. Like, I can deal with that, but it was just breaking me every time. And every time we had a fight, he was always reminding me how a shit I was, how inferior I was to him. And the more you hear things like that with the background I have, the more I believed in that.
You have all of the increased aspects of, where people might not necessarily be out, people might be struggling with that themselves. The models that are there, I suppose, are very heteronormative in terms of relationship modelling and couples and, I suppose, depictions on screen and in the media and things like that. But I think gay and bisexual men don't necessarily have that same depth or, breadth of model relationships that they can see. I suppose, for better or for worse, for most heterosexual people, obviously there are exceptions in terms of there's a whole variety of different family structures, but for a lot of people, if not in their own family, immediate family, aunts, uncles, neighbours, friends, they will have at least visibly semi-functional relationships and respectful relationships and that sort of thing, whereas for a lot of gay and bisexual men, they simply don't. So there is that absence for people to kind of have that, and as a result, I think people are more accepting of behaviours purely because they don't know any different. And I think when people, particularly in early stages, as is similar in heterosexual relationships, where young people enter relationships and they don't have anything to go on before it might be their first relationship, they might just anticipate that this is actually how things are. And if you add in, I suppose, kind of barriers in terms of kind of people might be coming to terms with their own sexuality, might be figuring themselves out, they actually mightn't question behaviour that they might otherwise if they were comfortable or confident in those aspects of their, personhood.
When you're not quite sure of your own identity or solid in yourself, you can let yourself be manipulated like a lot, and you put up with a lot of stuff. I think it stems from, I think any gay man of like a particular age, it stems from the childhood of, you're living in a country that is completely dominated by the church and the state colluding with them, and when you spoke out 12 or 13, you spoke out about who you were. You weren't seeking help. I mean, there were no supports. And my initial one was I was being abused from when I was 12 until I was 15. And when I went to confession, I was told I was the problem with what I was doing to a married man, and it drove me to seek disastrous relationships. Searching for that, somebody will give it to me. Somebody will give me this thing that I need. Not realising I needed to do it, give it to myself. But I think that's where it comes from. And I think anybody who's experienced a childhood where you haven't been shown love, where you feel like you haven't been made to feel that you're worth something, it just influences the whole of your life.